Welcome everyone to the finals of the Ghost 4v4 Search and Destroy. Myself, Lando, guiding you guys through the action, of course, in this tournament, closing things out between the side of YRN and 1400. Should be a very interesting match to watch. Of course, only 2 maps, potentially, for the winning team to close out. And these will be best of 3s, of course, as well for the finals. As we loading here toward round number 1 of some Sovereign S&D. Kills starting to happen. Half the lobby has dropped, and Crusades randomly knifing. It's always a fun time when things like that happen. Hulksta finding one on Goatism, and now Slack left in a 1-on-2. Of course, many people know of Slack, current pro player for Luminosity Gaming. Let's get to test his wits here in a 1-on-2. Veteran is Slack, but unfortunately not able to make it out of that particular play, as the round number 1 will be in the books. Of course, both these teams we've been able to watch. We obviously got to watch YRN face off, I believe, against We Love Ghosts, and I want to say that was around round 2, or quarterfinals, where they're having players like Exotic, Monitor was on that team, Hitch was on that team as well. They ended up having a pretty easy victory versus them. I believe they went winning that one 2-0. Not exactly sure on the exact rounds, but it's a pretty dominant win in the end. And we just got done watching 1400 face off in the semifinals versus the side of Goldblood, and had a decently convincing win in back-to-back 6-4 victories, as they won that one at 2-0. So both these teams have been looking pretty solid up into this one, as it should be a very fun battle to watch. As one player already dropping, I believe that was Hazels, who ends up shutting Quavo Steve down for the first blood, and could find the second one. Yes, Quavo Lou dropping, both Quavos falling to the hands of Hazels. And it looks like ACR will be finding Slacked as well. Goatism for a 1-on-4, thankfully comes from behind. That'll help at least secure 1 kill, but maybe not a second. Finding someone inside of servers, but can't finish him off in the end. It looks like it will be ACR from the skies, aka from Nest. Firing through the signs. A nice communication gained. And good overall awareness there to close out into that round as well. So if you guys are curious and haven't, or maybe just been randomly tuning in and just happen to find this stream, of course we do stream at least around 1 to 2 times a week of our UMG online tournaments. Have been obviously focusing a lot of attention toward Ghost as of recent. A lot of people were curious what game would be the primary title to watch, and at least for boots on the ground action in preparation for World War II, it has been Call of Duty Ghost. Of course, going back to the ground for the next title, as many people are in heavy await. Very excited about that, as am I. Nice to get those boots back on the ground. Of course, we've been having a number of different tournaments in preparation for that. And a lot of these guys we've been able to watch countless times. And it looks like Hazels will be dropped, so at least 1 round now going to be on the board for the opposite side. But of course, we have been able to watch a number of different players. I believe this is my first time. I'm not sure how many tournaments the side of 1400 has been in. I want to say that I've seen Hulk's name in some of our tournaments that we've been able to broadcast in the past. I don't think we've casted over any of the guys from the set of 1400, but we've definitely seen the guys from the set of YRN. We've seen Select, of course, like I said, a pro player right now for Luminosity Gaming. We've seen Quavo Lou. We've seen Quavo Steve. I know we've casted over Goatism as well in the past. And I believe I've actually casted over Goatism in around Black Ops 3 time, too. So I have been able to watch him on his come up also. Of course, a lot of known players when it comes down to this final at the moment. Hazel spots one just toward his right. Great intuition to realize such, but Goatism is going to be there for the cleanup. And an ACR, the creator, last player alive, and he just gets dropped immediately. So nice 2-round response coming in from the side of YRN. Quavalu being aware of such. We'll clean up ACR, the creator. Now, if I am coming at this from an angle that we got to watch in that last series, we did get to see 1400 play. And in all their matches, we ended up seeing a fantastic performance from Hulksta. Hulksta was by far the main slayer throughout every single match that we got to witness, and he was dropping numbers. I don't remember the exact amount of kills. I want to say he was in double digits maybe for both. At least the last one he was. He was playing incredibly strong. So I think if we were to expect a victory, you've got to be looking at him to be a main slayer for the squad. But Quavo Lou just absolutely walks through the opposition. I see we'll find the final 2 walking through those stairs. He finds one and just quickly turns around toward his left. Finishes off ACR, the creator. So with that, it will now be 3 rounds to 2. I believe this is back-to-back-to-back rounds, actually going over to the side of YRN. Godism currently leading the way at 8-2. I think it's only fair that we do hop on board with him and his team, as they will now be on the defensive side. When it comes down to this map, not going to see too many A hits, but it seems that we are going to be seeing that one take place right now. Sovereign, one of the more maps where it's a little bit easier to attack both sides. If you're looking at the map like Warhawk or Octane, definitely not the case when it comes down to level of difficulty toward the non-preferred site, but we'll see how things do start to take place as players beginning to fall. Crusade around in the corner, does have that Vector in hand. We've seen what he can do with a sniper rifle. Actually spots both players. They're going to call that one out to Hulksta. Hulksta now being aware of that push that could be coming over toward his site. B-Dom, player found in that particular area as Crusade finds him. Loosening in servers, spots one just toward his right. Can he finish off the gunfight is the question. All Crusade really has to do is just try and stay alive, and Hulksta will be there for the cleanup. As the great information gained there from Crusade is definitely going to grant them the round victory. Spots 2 players, one going through mid-map, one on Nest. As it's free information gained and a round secured. As after 3 rounds straight did the side of YRN gain, 1400 finally able to respond back here. And they'll now be on defense as well, but like I said, I was talking at the end of round number 6. A, not going to be a very high priority target. Of course, like I said, you will see it from time to time, but B, definitely the more preferred side of the two. It can definitely be a little bit difficult to enter inside. Vectors, even shotguns at times, can definitely be weapons of choice. As a very quick round, very easy round victory, and you don't really like to see rounds go that quick whenever you are on offense, maybe even rooting for the defensive team, but when you are on offense and just easy rush inside them. That was a very quick round for offense, especially rotating the bomb that they went to, the bomb site rather. Very quick round is YRN now going to have the round count in their favor, 4 rounds to 3. Staying on board with Crusade, the bomb carrier. Like I said, that bomb oftentimes can it's a lot heavier than people expect. It definitely weigh down your KD quite a bit. Comes down to the objective category, just currently sitting around side of lockers as his teammate will drop for that first blood. Quavo Lu finding that player just above Hulksta, not going to expect that one any day of the week. And up close gunfight, Godism trying to go for the stun check. Or Crusade rather going for the gun check, Godism to shut him down. As you'll see Slacked quick to shut down ACR, the creator, the last player alive. Teammate was there for the trade. Beautiful stuff coming in right now from the side of YRN. I was really thinking like 1400, they're looking very, very strong, and granted they still are. They beat a very difficult opponent in Gold Blood pretty dominantly, so I was curious to see when it came down to this how they would play. But Hulksta not really playing up to his best. Every single player right now on the side of YRN is playing consistent, which is great. They're only at 4 kills. As it looks like Hazels could be dropping for the final time. Having to sit in that respawn screen, waiting for his teammates, and it looks like Hulksta will join him as well. Crusade doing some damage, trying to even the man count out at least a little bit. Spots one. Can't finish off the second. And it's all up to ACR. What can he do in the situation? Of course, the Vector in hand, not the ACR. If you had the ACR in hand, I'm pretty sure I'd feel a lot more comfortable. But the Vector's pretty good too. Receiving shots from a number of different angles, up close and personal. Spots one inside a map room, and Quavo Lu will be there for his demise as they will win this one. Does YRN. They close this one out 6 rounds to 3. And along with winning map number 1, will also now be 1 map away from closing out the finals here in the Ghost 4v4 Search and Destroy tournament, with Godism dropping 9 total kills, 4 deaths, and Quavo Lu shortly behind at 9 kills and 5 deaths as they will move forward. So like I said, if you are the side of 1400, the map's not over. You're not done yet. you at least do have the side of Warhawk to try and come back on. And I think they're definitely going to fare off a lot better when it comes down to that map, just based on what we've been able to see from them. Welcome back, everyone, for potentially the final time of the Ghost 4v4 Search and Destroy. We're currently in our final. Hopping here toward map number 2, we end up seeing the side of the side of YRN closing out map number 1. One that went in pretty dominant fashion, 6 rounds to 3. We'll see how the side of 1400 can try and respond. Shots coming in at close range. Slack finding a few instead of 10, and now it's all up to Hulksta. In a one-on-one scenario, Slack going to get that bomb down. So Hulksta immediately going to know the position, but where does Slack rotate to? Actually, just toward your right, and Slack will find that one as well. Great plays there coming in from Slack as he gets the 3 kills in the round, also gets the bomb plant. Literally does absolutely everything in the situation. And honestly, at that point, Hulksta could be coming from any angle, and Slack just happens to choose correctly. So major props there toward Josiah Berry. So he will close that one out. Of course, player for Luminosity Gaming, pro player, doing some pro player things. As we're going to see a lot of defensive attention coming in from the side of YRN on this A site. As you probably will never see that many players over toward A again in this round unless it is from a defensive team. Just due to the preferred location over that B side is at. And Hazel's right now with that Thermal Remington player up close. Go to a nice angle to hold. Granted, he does get traded when it comes into offense. Rather, when it comes into defense, it's definitely a worthy exchange. ACR just happens to spot one player toward his left and finishes off both kills at the end. The knife for good measure. Make it look like an even prettier kill cam. Nice reaction, shuts down one. A nice pre-fire, most likely due to the teammate's call-out. Will be there for the second. So nice responding around there from the side of 1400. And like I said, coming into this series, after one series of casting over 1400 prior to this one, it was really the Hulksta show. If Hulksta was going off, the team was having success. Dropped, I think, like double digits in both of the maps that we end up witnessing. So honestly, if we can see at least maybe one big performer, but if Hulksta can start to shine, we can definitely see, instead of 1400, bring this one back. As it's not going to be easy whatsoever to even take just one map off of this YRN crew rather than just 2. As Hulk's the drop, and Hazels is now the last man alive. Thermal Remington inside of 10, and he will be shut down quick. As Slack drops the final 2. Finds one in Water Tower. Finds the other in 10. Slack off to a hot start, of course, after just 3 rounds of play. As we head into our 4th, we'll see if Hazels and both Quavo can finally get on that scoreboard. Potentially, you always talk about, at least commentators like to always talk about, analysts as well, like to always bring up the players who are kind of at the bottom. And rather, it's kind of like a virtual battle that you like to think of. Player who ends up doing better out of those 2 usually ends up winning the round. And Godism finds a nice nade. Slack does as well. Quavo Lu responding. Nades out. And now Crusade wondering what just happened to my teammates. After about 12 seconds of play, Crusade finds himself in a very awkward spot, most likely waving the white flag. Player behind him. I believe Slack spotted him for a while. As he'll add another 2 kills toward his total. Sees the foot out of that second story. As he's going to land on a little pole there. It's got to be unfortunate. Kind of hurts. Damages to your legs. It's not good for you. Either way, Slack doing some continuous damage. 7-1. After just 4 rounds. Doing everything for the team. Also has a plant to his name, and Crusade trying to get up close and personal, trying to get these first bloods down. Able to make that one happen, but if you can find the second one, that would be big, but no. Quavo Steve is there for the trade. The bomb planter, the objective man, doing some work in that slang category. Nate not going to find anyone, just hit markers. Shots coming into 10. Hazel's finding one on Lou. So it is Quavo Steve's team of YRN who are at the man disadvantage quickly. Change back to a 2-on-2, but just as I say that, now 1-on-2. Go to him. In a position, a clutch position, not known right now. So he does have the advantage as far as being a surprising factor. As Godism finds one. Hoxton knows exactly where his position is. If he can just hold these two angles, he does have a, to be exact, 67% chance of spotting it, but no, he just peeks around the corner at the worst time, and thankfully he will be able to close out this kill. You like to think. Yes, he does. Ever since that exotic play in round 2, it's just every kill, it's like, okay, he's got to win this one. There's no way he loses this. That's exactly what I thought. We were actually in We Love Ghosts versus YRN, and I think it was Godism who ended up making that play happen. So can't blame me for at least being on my toes about some of these plays that are happening. But regardless, it will be 3 rounds to 2. Still, this one in favor of the side of YRN, as we will be looking through the eyes of Hoxton. Of course, like I said, when it comes to the Warhawk, we do see a little bit of attention toward that A site, and you're going to see the defensive team being aware of such. Godism checking that as the first blood goes down. ACR doing some damage off the start, making a very aggressive rush. Godism is here for the trade on Hoxton. Spots another one. He's just going to lay prone. Teammate Quavo surrounded by every single player, is going to be giving a nice call out, most likely, saying they're basically all near me. So now Godism 1 on 3. Spots one. Nice intuition to find those shots. Tags up another. And player just toward his right. Can he escape? Yes, the nice slide will at least guarantee him a few more seconds alive in this round. Bomb down. Tosses out the smoke. And unfortunately, Hazels will be there in the end if you are a fan of the Godism side. And it was a decent try, decent angle. But unfortunately, he did peek out of that smoke just a little bit too quickly, so his position will be known. You might think that was a thermal, actually, well, which it was, but didn't actually get to spot him through that smoke. It just happened to be the early toss that lost him that fight. So back and forth we go, 3 rounds apiece. As we'll look on with Quavo Steve. The shots begin to go down. Godism shutting down Crusade. Tossing out that nade to the 10. No one's going to be home for that, but trying to zone out the opposition, trying to gain some information, anything possible to secure a round. It comes down to being on offense. Quavo Steve, despite being stunned, is still going to go for the plant. Risky play because the knowledge of the nades, but you look at the overall kills that his team's got, it's not at all an awkward endeavor, as it will be Hoxton who also drops in the end. Hoxton, only 3 kills to his name after 7 rounds of play. And not that he's the major factor is the reasoning why we're seeing 1400 struggle, but he was the major player in the series that we got to witness prior to this one in the semifinals versus Goldblood, and he was going off. And that is not the case in this series, at least. But right now, they almost midway of this match potentially, we're seeing Godism playing very, very well. Early stun, actually, that's not going to be from the enemy, that's actually going to be from a team, so there's no way that stun actually hit from the opposite side. But Godism starting off 10-4, Slack currently sitting at 8-3, playing very, very well, and Godism trying to add a little bit more kills toward his overall score, and it looks like he will be shut down for that first blood, so 2-on-4 immediately. Nice try there from Slack, and Quavo will be shut down in the end as well. So no one dropping from the side of 1400. Definitely some nice momentum for these guys, as this next round is going to be huge. Reason being is that whoever secures this next round will only be 1 more round away from locking up map number 2. Of course, if it is the side of 1400, we will be seeing a map number 3, and if it is the side of YRN, this one will be closed out in a 2-0. So as tension begins to rise, as the rounds begin to mean more and more. Playing very passively, respecting the other. Quavo Steve just doing a nice little check through that fence as Godism finds the first blood. Vector shots coming in at a close range. Looks like another one that way going the favor of Godism yet again. Shots coming in. It looks like a nice angle actually held there from Hazels. I wasn't thinking that his current position that he was in, that he'd be able to spot that player from that range, but in the end he walks away with a gunfight. Now Crusade 1-on-2. Hazels at least lightened the load. And Godism slacked both around each other, and Crusade will be dropped. Godism checks the right angle, will finish off Crusade, as that will be now YRN, who are going to be on series point. One round away from closing this one out. Will we see around 11 is the question, and Crusade might actually even keep the sniper rifle out. We've seen him do damage with this, to say the least. Swaps back to that Remington. Was expecting that we'd see that, but still. Regardless, a three-man flank. We've seen this happen countless times to the side of YRN. And it looks like no one really watching that at the moment. One player toward the backside. This is going to be, I believe, Hulkster. He gets dropped. Big win there for Lou. And especially when it comes down to the side of 1400 there on the offense. This isn't the preferred angle to hold. Hazel's coming in and at least trying to lighten the load right now. Finds one. Godism, Quavo Lou. 2-on-3. Now make it a 2-on-2. Godism finding one, and now Crusade's left all by himself. And he will drop, and just like that, that's going to do it as Crusade falls. And Godism will increase that total to 16-5. An exclamation point for the final round, the final map, and the final series of the Ghost 4v4 S&D, as this one will conclude at 6 rounds to 4. And like I said, man, Godism finishing off 16-5. I'm really glad that we got to actually catch him going off that way. And why not have the highest kill total in the final, like I said, final series of the night, final map as well. So major props to Godism for having that performance. Definitely granted his team a huge momentum when it came down to the series, as they will take the final. So congratulations to Godism, Slat, Quavo Lou, and Quavo Steve, a.k.a. Crayons. I really like Quavo Steve, his UMG name. Very, very high props to that. I think everyone in the studio is like, Crayons, Quavo Steve. We immediately know what it is, because they're at tournaments that him and Lou like to play in. So major props to the side of YRN, who do walk away with the title of Ghost 4v4 S&D champions.
My heart was on fire, but you let me